Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the Sandmarc Travel Pack, which is geared primarily towards people that use their iPhone for photography while they're on the road, as opposed to carrying around a bunch of traditional camera gear. And I think this is an interesting idea given the popularity of iPhones nowadays and how advanced they are and the number of accessories that are available for people that are into iPhone photography. This bag definitely has some features and pockets that are specifically designed to accommodate those types of accessories. With any type of bag like this that has a more specialized use case, one of the things that I'm always on the lookout for is how good the bag itself actually is. Sometimes there can be some trade-offs on the functionality, the quality, or the comfort of the bag to accommodate some of these features. But upon first glance, when I started looking at this, I was really impressed with the specs and how well-rounded the feature set seems. So I was excited to have a chance to get hands-on with it, as well as some of the other accessories within Sandmarc's ecosystem. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use these over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the bag has a pretty modern, techie vibe, kind of in the vein of an Air or a Thule backpack. So this is a look that I generally like, as it works well for all types of travel, for exploring a city. This feels minimal enough to work in an office setting as well, and it's something that you could probably take into the outdoors pretty comfortably. As far as the materials, the bag feels really solidly built. This exterior fabric is an 840D ballistic nylon that feels very rugged and like it's going to be able to handle rougher usage comfortably while providing a good amount of weather resistance. The bag comes in at a little bit over 3 pounds, so it's not the lightest bag, but definitely not as heavy as I would have expected for a bag of this size and with this many features. So really good balance there. You have a little bit of a tarpaulin accent on the bottom. You have aluminum kind of buckles and hardware throughout. And then you also have some really nice aqua-guarded YKK zippers. Continuing along the outside of the bag, I was happy to see that you have two external water bottle pockets, one on each side. The implementation here is interesting. They have this zipper to allow them to expand out. They have some elasticity. The zipper actually goes all the way down and really allows it to open up. It also has a little opening near the bottom to provide some drainage, and also allows the zipper to come through for the expansion. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, but the water bottle pocket itself offers a decent amount of space. It's a little shallow. This is a 20-ounce water bottle, and you can see that if I place the bag down, it may want to slide out. So kind of wish that this had been deeper. And then it's also fairly wide, which will allow you to hold something a little bit bulkier. This is, I believe, meant to handle something like a tripod as well. So trying to serve a couple of different use cases there. And I wish it was maybe a little bit better fit for some of the water bottles that I use, but regardless, glad to have it, glad that it can work for the tripod as well. And then you can pair it with the compression straps that you have on the side. Really like the implementation here, very interesting buckles. So these just kind of slide in and out, very secure, really durable feeling. And then you have the adjustability, the strap management. So I think this implementation is really solid. You have compression straps on each side, same style. And you have on the bottom a zipper that houses some additional straps that will, again, be great for holding a tripod here on the bottom of the bag, or a jacket, a yoga mat. You have these aluminum G-hook, and then they go through these little loops here to allow you to hold whatever you need to, and then you can store them away so they're not fully removable. But I think that's really nice that you have the ability to store them if you want to have a cleaner look with the bag. Beyond that, you have really nice handles on the sides and on the top of the bag, one on each side, and then the same kind of style for all of the handles as far as being very well padded. They have this breathable material, so they're really cushioned, comfortable to hold even when the bag is a little bit heavier. And then it's great that you have them on each side, so regardless of how you're carrying it, you can hold it like a briefcase. You'll be able to pair it with the luggage pass-through that I'll show in a little bit. So really nice implementation there. And then along the front, you have some of the Sandmarc branding, some blue kind of accent points, and then the logo on the front, which is pretty blacked out and subdued, so it doesn't stand out too much. And then one last thing to call out while we're talking about the exterior is that the bag can stand up on its own, but it's been a little bit inconsistent here. As you can see, the bag is tilting forward quite heavily. So if I were to remove the laptop or some of the weight from the back, it would come to the front very, easily. So this is something you'll definitely want to either lay flat or rest against the wall, just, so that the bag isn't falling over accidentally. Moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 25 liters, which I'm always a big fan of. It's a size that I think offers enough space for, most people's day-to-day needs while still providing some extra capacity for longer days. It doesn't feel overwhelmingly big, but it can still also potentially work well for minimal travel. One thing about this bag is that the shape is fairly rigid, whether it's empty or full, so it's gonna look kind of the same, but even when it's full, it still never feels overwhelmingly bulky. It doesn't feel like it sticks out too much, so it's gonna be something that's still gonna work well for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto a variety of domestic and international airlines. One nice thing about this bag is that you also have the ability to expand it and take it from 25 liters to 30.5 liters according to the company's site. So they have the zipper that goes around the bag and will give you that extra bit of capacity, whether you're wanting to use this for travel or for additional gear. Taking a look at the harness system, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. This is definitely the style of harness that I tend to gravitate towards. I really like the amount of padding that's offered here. It's really soft and comfortable. On the inside, you have this breathable mesh to help prevent moisture from building up. Then the straps also have a good width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. On the straps, you have a couple of elastic bands, an adjustable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. It's got the same style of buckle that we saw on the side compression straps, which I think works really nicely. It's a pretty unique system. And then one of the distinguishing factors with the straps on this bag is that it has this pocket, this elastic mesh pocket that is meant to allow you to place your iPhone in here, or your whatever phone you're carrying, to be able to film yourself point of view style as you're walking around. So this is an interesting idea. Whether you're filming yourself or not, I suppose it's nice to have a pocket here where you could place your phone. It's not something that I would probably use that much. I don't tend to film myself in that style, or I'd be a little bit worried about the camera kind of accidentally pressing stop on the recording button. So, an interesting idea, definitely something that I'll probably continue to play around with, but just not really my typical use case. Still nice to have it. And then moving into the back paneling, this has also been really comfortable. Same style of padding that we saw on the shoulder straps. It's even a little bit more robust, which is nice, just well distributed all throughout the back. Plenty of breathability with that same mesh. And then the padding has a nice amount of elevation to create this air channel to provide you with ventilation while you're walking around throughout the day. And then on this back panel, a couple of additional features that you have are this elastic band here at the bottom. They kind of work to allow you to tuck the straps away. If you're carrying this like a briefcase or you're storing it, it'll just prevent them from flopping around. And then you also have a luggage pass-through that's going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag has a nice variety of pockets all throughout. Starting off on the front, you have a couple of zippered quick access pockets. First one at the top here has, the very nice, well-protected zipper. That's going to be the case with all of them. This one has a pretty wide opening, which is nice, and it's got sort of this, catch-all area here where you could place some pouches or bulkier accessories. At the moment, I have my GoPro here, as well as a charging cable for my phone and my tablet. And then on the back, you have a little bit of built-in organization, zippered mesh compartment here so you can see what's on the inside. And in one of these pockets, I was able to easily fit my Apple Magic Mouse, and the other one is a good size for my Apple AirPods. So those fit in there easily. And then above that, you have a little elastic band that's going to be a good spot for a pen or a stylus. Moving down along the front, you have the two other zippered pockets. One thing to note here is that they do share volume. So this middle one goes down to the bottom. So depending on how you load everything out, it might start to feel a little bit tight, but it is nice to have this deeper pocket here. At the moment, I'm using it for a couple of pouches. I have my alpaca admin pouch, which fits in there very easily, as well as my Tom Bin Ghost Whale pouch. I believe this pocket is also designed to be able to handle certain models of over-ear headphones, so some Apple AirPods Max or some of the Bose headphones that lay flat. Since I use Beats Studio headphones, this isn't a really great fit for those, but still feels like there's enough space if that's how you want to use the pocket, particularly while traveling, to be able to reach in, grab them easily. And then at the bottom, one additional pocket, and this one, it has a good amount of volume if this area isn't completely packed out. But since I was sharing space, I at the moment only have my laptop charger and its cable, just to avoid everything feeling overly tight. But I really like that The compartments just kind of allow you to configure everything however is going to work best with the items that you're packing. And then the next area that we're going to be taking a look at is the laptop compartment. So I really like that it has a dedicated laptop area. Again, well-protected zippers that go down a nice amount. It doesn't open up fully, travel style, which I generally don't mind. I don't use that. And on the inside here of this tech area, you have a dedicated tablet sleeve, a laptop sleeve, and then a series of pockets for some of the gear that Sandmarc sells for mobile photography. And so starting off on the back with the tablet and laptop sleeves, I think they did a really good job here. I first off like that they have a dedicated tablet sleeve, which isn't always the case. This has a little bit of padding, so it's not just a simple slip pocket. It also has a soft lining on the front to help prevent against scratching. And this is a pretty big compartment, so it'll definitely be able to handle larger tablets. At the moment, I just have my iPad mini in here, and that was able to fit very, very easily. And then behind that, you have the dedicated laptop sleeve, which should be able to hold up to a 15 or 16 inch laptop pretty comfortably. Currently what I have here is my 14-inch MacBook Pro. You can see there's some leftover space here at the top. And like the tablet sleeve, this one has a soft lining on the front and on the back, so it really feels like it's going to offer a lot of protection against scratching, and the compartment is properly suspended off the bottom of the ground, so I can just toss my laptop in there. It doesn't feel like it's making contact, so just a lot of protection offered here. And pulling my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside, and it does come up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker device or you want to use a case with your laptop, it should be able to handle that. But with the amount of padding that's offered here, the fact that it has the fleece lining and that it's suspended, it really feels like my device is going to be very well protected while I'm on the go. Moving to the other side of this compartment, you have some built-in organization. At the bottom, there's a couple of larger slip pockets, and then you have a mesh zippered pocket here in the middle, which can be used to house any other tech items that you want to keep kind of grouped with your laptop and tablet. I didn't really use these too much because it can be kind of tricky to reach the bottom here because the zipper doesn't go all the way down, especially when you have your laptop in here, your tablet. It just is a little bit hard to reach it, and it also starts to feel tight. I don't like anything pressing up against my devices, so I prefer not to use them, but I know that for some people it might be nice to have these options here. And then at the top, this is interesting, and this is another one of those features that seems really geared towards the mobile photography. You have a couple of pockets that are going to pair very nicely with some of the accessories that Sandmarc sells, and I have a couple of them in these pockets at the moment. So first off, I have one of the lenses which they sent me to try out. It has a little protective pouch, fits in there very comfortably, that also has a clip that goes on your phone, and the lens includes a case that will match up with the phone model that you have. And so the pockets themselves feel pretty padded, so it feels like they're going to keep those lenses protected. The lens is a pretty cool idea as far as being able to take your iPhone photography and do different stuff than what the default camera can do. So the one that I have here is meant to be kind of a fisheye lens that's going to add a really cool effect to your photos. It's almost, I guess, GoPro-like, you could say, but it just is another tool to have in my arsenal when I'm traveling and I don't want to take all the large camera stuff for my phone. You have 4 pockets. In the other 2, I have another accessory that Sandmarc sells, which I thought was surprisingly cool. This is a headlamp. So they have a strap that pairs with this headlamp, and so you can wear it on your head like a traditional lamp. It offers plenty of brightness. I almost blinded myself when I accidentally turned it on. It's got a really nice tactile button, charges via USB-C. You can take it off the headband, and then it has a magnetic plate, so you can place this somewhere and it'll be able to light while you're trying to be hands-free. So very versatile accessory, definitely something that I like to have with me, especially because you can use this either as just a standalone flashlight or as a headband. So very cool idea there, and fit perfectly into the pockets that were provided. The last area that we're going to be taking a look at is the main compartment. It has a zipper that goes down pretty far, maybe not quite full clamshell style, but it does open up pretty wide so that you can see everything that's on the inside. And so you have a pretty large bucket of space here, again 25 liters when it's compressed down, which matches up nicely with my modular style of packing. So I'll dive into what I have here now. Evergood Civic Access pouch, 1/2 liter. I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 1 liter. My Beats Studio wireless headphones, and then at the bottom I have the Civic Access pouch, 2 liters, and all of those fit in there very comfortably. There was still some leftover capacity if I wanted to toss in a jacket. And then, as I mentioned earlier, you do have the ability to expand this out. You can see when it's compressed, You have the material here that's just kind of hidden away until you use the zipper that goes all the way around, pulls it up to 30.5 liters. So, you know, for longer days, it'll definitely also work well for travel. I could toss in a packing cube, a dock kit, an extra pair of shoes, you know, and a few other accessories, and I'll easily be able to use this for a longer weekend trip, maybe even longer. So really like the simple layout here. I like that it doesn't have compression straps or any additional sort of unnecessary pocketing on the back. And then on the front of this pocket, you have some mesh zippered compartments to give you a little bit of built-in organization. At the bottom, you have a larger one that, you know, I don't really use these very often in general because I always have my pouches at the bottom. I don't like anything bulging up against them and taking up the space, but you do have that option, particularly if you're not somebody who likes to use pouches. You can toss in cables, toiletries, other accessories. And then in this middle section, you have a compartment that's divided into 3 little compartments. And so it's gonna be a good spot for smaller tech items and other sort of things that you might need to carry. I have a little USB-C cable. This is the one for that headlamp that I showed earlier. And then I was able to place my nail clipper set here, just kind of fit perfectly, but you could also see how portable batteries, portable hard drive would definitely work here as well, as in addition to other cables, adapters. And then at the top, you have one more mesh zippered pocket. This one has a little bit more volume, which I liked, and that was able to easily handle my sunglasses with their bulky hard shell case. And so I really like the organization and space provided in this main area and just how everything is laid out throughout the bag. You can tell that a lot of thought went into the features that were included. And whether or not you use this for mobile photography, it's just a really solid travel pack option. You know, it offers a great build quality, a nice layout, and if you're in the market for kind of an all-purpose bag that's gonna be comfortable, it's gonna keep your laptop well protected, and that can also handle some, you know, mobile camera accessories, and this is gonna be a really interesting option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Sandmarc Travel Pack over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on the company site for around $250, so it's definitely a bit of an investment, but you are getting a really well-built bag with a nice feature set, which I think is going to compare well to some of the other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Moment Everything backpack, which I looked at pretty recently on the channel. The 28-liter version of that bag is a really versatile size that can work for minimal travel, can also work for EDC. And one of the things that I really like about Moments bags is that they're designed to, you know, be just really great bags on their own, and then they have modular accessories that allow you to kind of configure it depending on your photography needs. So a lot of their, you know, cubes are meant to be used with more traditional camera setups, but for someone like me who doesn't have a ton of lenses or cameras, I can just, you know, leave the cubes at home. I can use a smaller pouch or something protective for the gear that I do need to carry. And then the bag itself is actually really well built. It's comfortable. It's got a nice feature set, well padded laptop compartment. And I really like the more subdued aesthetic that it has. It's just, you know, really minimal, something that's going to blend in well into a lot of different environments. And so, you know, if you're like me and you don't have that much camera gear and you're looking for a really kind of subdued, minimal bag with a nice feature set, that's going to be a great option to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Wandered Provoke, which has been one of my favorite camera bags for the past couple of years. Just very rugged, adventure-focused bag. It's got the really weather-resistant tarpaulin exterior. It's a roll-top bag, so it's going to offer plenty of protection against the elements and also provide some flexibility in the carrying capacity. Kind of like this one, the expansion isn't the same per se, but it does offer the ability to roll up or down depending on what you need to carry. It's got a really comfortable harness system, well-padded laptop compartment. That one is also geared towards more kind of traditional camera gear. So lenses, bodies, it has, you know, a series of cubes. It's got the side access pocket for your camera, but it is a pretty flexible layout that you can adjust to meet your needs. And it's just a really solid bag all on its own. So, you know, if you're looking for something that's gonna work particularly well in the outdoors and really keep your devices safe, and it's gonna provide a lot of flexibility, and that's gonna be a great option to keep in mind. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Air Travel Pack 3 Small, which isn't designed to be a camera bag necessarily, but it does have a lot of built-in organization that can work well with maybe the types of accessories that iPhone photographers would use. So it's got a lot of slots, tech organization, pockets. It's a very solidly built bag, super comfortable, dedicated laptop compartment. At the 28-liter size, it feels pretty close to this one when it's not expanded. As far as just being able to carry enough stuff for a trip, the Air Travel Pack 3 is also offered in a 35-liter size if you need more capacity. Aesthetically, the bags also feel pretty similar as far as being modern, a little more techy, sleek. And so, the Travel Pack 3 Small has been one of my favorite bags for a while now. I, come to it a lot when I'm looking for something that can work well for a lot of different use cases. You can put a camera cube inside of it if you need to, or if you don't have that type of gear, there's just a lot of different pockets that you can take advantage of. And so if you're just looking for a very solid, modern, comfortable, all-purpose bag, then that's gonna be one of the best options to check out. With that being said, the Sandmarc Travel Pack holds up really well against all those options, and regardless of whether you are an iPhone photographer and you use the type of gear that this bag was designed to hold, it still works very well as just a travel backpack all on its own. So if you're looking for something comfortable, durable, that's gonna have plenty of space and organization, this is gonna be a really great option to check out. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Sandmarc Travel Pack and how it compares to some of the other popular travel and photography backpacks that are currently on the market. If there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company for sending the bag and other gear for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.